fact, the only team, despite the fact that they lost the series, to take a map off of FURIA at all last season. So FURIA are coming off I'm still going to call it a flawless season since they didn't actually lose anything, but not quite an absolute flawless season. It's like the A+ as opposed to the S rank, because they did drop that single map, the one blemish on their permanent record, and they're looking for revenge for that blemish against Team One. This is Inferno, a map that both squads really do love to play. FURIA in particular always seems to manage to nudge a veto over towards this map. So we're going to see how it goes. Already aggression out from Art. He's so far forward. He's outside the T-apps. That's a ton of information for his team. They know for a fact that nobody's coming over. So you're seeing 3 players hedge towards the B-bomb site, and everybody's bunched up here for Team One. They get the initial kill. Yuri out for absolutely no damage in exchange and no utility spent either to force him off the position. Gives the Team One side a lot to work with now going into this round.
Yeah, it's a big opening kill, and you can see the CTs are trying to make some sort of adjustment here. Art is pushed all the way up in towards Mexi. All of the Team One players in towards Banana, and they're currently surrounded, but Art is going to have to take off, and it looks like they're actually going to try and chase him down. So it's going to be basically 3v1, 4v1 over towards the A site, but FURIA is going to rotate 2 guys off. So now Vinny's all alone, and it's just madness right now. Here comes the B.
Art was trying to go for more, right? He's got 2 players with the backs turned. He tries to line up the first head and go for the second. The problem is, right as he's doing that, Maluk turns, and so then he's just got to commit. Then he's going to find one, and from on top of the flower pots, more damage being done up. Problem is they've lost their site anchor, so now the bomb can be planted. Though the reboost on the flower pots is going to slow that down, it's instantly traded by Bit. So good awareness from him that could be a potential spot, and they're clearing out presence towards Banana, but it's all going to be on Art. The man who nearly had the massive flank will not be able to find any more impact into the round. It's Team One with a pretty firm bomb plant, and they, despite some weirdness in the round, really did not hesitate in their initial goal.
Yeah, FURIA had exactly what they wanted. They had Team One locked down in towards Banana. Art with a ton of information, and early as well. You can see there was rotations that came in from FURIA early in the round. And Art, unfortunately, wasn't able to get that initial kill, and Team One did grab one over towards the A site. Or excuse me, the B site. So FURIA's plans got a little messed up there. They tried to rotate a man over, and it was just kind of madness there for a second. Eventually, Team One does win the round, so it's going to be 1-0 for them. They're going to go with the AK, 3 MAC-10s, and an ump. And it looks like they're going in towards apartments, so we might get an early waterfall here. Abel J's going to be the first man.
Oh, he just gets run right over. Yuri tries to slip into the boiler, and there will be no quarter given. So Team One just going to secure this round, and because it's the force buy, because there's actually a fair amount invested on the remaining players, Yuri is going to say, all right, we want no part of that. I mean, 4 SMGs just steamrolling onto site, a single rifle still available. Team One sees this second round by the throat, and they are not going to let go whatsoever. So the question is just how much do they don't want to devote towards the hunt? Presumably the MAC-10s are going to get a little adventurous here, since that's kind of the classic eco-hunting frag gun. But we'll see if they can actually get close enough to FURIA to do the damage and keep this armor out of the next round.
Yeah, got a ways to go, and I can't imagine they're going to get over towards the B side in time here. So FURIA will be able to hold on to that ump and 2 deagles. They have a little bit of utility in armor as well, so nice save here, but you don't like seeing them give up that round. It'll be 2-0. Team One off to a great start, and FURIA not going to be able to buy much here. They do have the ump to work with, but everybody's around 2K, so they might be able to upgrade pistols on a couple of these guys. But right now, Team One looking good here in the 3rd round. And here we go. Let's see if FURIA has some sort of interesting strat here up their sleeve. It looks like it's going to be a nade stack in towards mid, and here we go. It's going to be TRK getting a double nade in response. Abel J's able to get one, but it's now 3v3, so this isn't bad for FURIA.
And that's interesting. They're actually so worried about the push off the back of the nades that they molly themselves off into T-stairs. That leaves one player isolated. Just going to be Barton trying to get aggressive. He's got to be careful. There's a deagle on the other side, but Barton, the newest addition, not even going to be phased. He'll go forward. He'll find the ground, and now it's just a battered USP in the hands of Yuri with no health behind it, and K. Serrato, who at least has armor and a UMB, but no more utility to hold on to try and stave them off from another round. At this point, it's just about doing some damage, maybe checking that economy a little bit. But because it was the bonus round last round, and because they're really carrying over most of the SMGs into this one, Team One's really not phased. So now they're going to hit the site. It's up to K. Serrato to do what he can. Going to be challenging though, and they're clearing for exactly his angle. He takes the first, and actually a player being isolated towards Banana gives him opportunity. He's hesitating though, and eventually they will overwhelm. So now it's just left to Yuri, who at least has a MAC 10, but Barton will swing with a MAC of his own and say, hey, I got one of those two.
Nice triple there for Barton on that round. But if you're Furia, that's the one guy on their side that you want in a 1v3 situation over towards the B site. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other players that are clutch on their team, but when I think clutch for Furia, I think of Quesarado. And he does get the opening kill. If he had wide swung a little bit more on that second guy, he might have been able to grab that one. That would have been huge, making it a 2v1. But nonetheless, Team 1 gets the job done, and the buy round comes up here for Furia. Art going to be on that op, 2 AUGs, 2 M4s, and it's going to be 2 CTs hanging out towards Car to start it out. Just puts down a little bit of suppressive fire there. And eventually, I think Quesarado will fall back here once they have Vinny into position. And yeah, he's going to go over towards A right.
This is good. This is good timing. They're coming through the smoke. They're trying to gain ground. It's going to be Art committed up close, and he can't hit the first shot, so he's phased completely off of it. Body's now dropping, a ton of pressure being applied. They're going to see what cracks and falls out. Yuri takes one, and Quesarado's back through, so TRK can't get the plant confirmed, and he's going to drop as a result. They've dug out some players, but there's still someone waiting in the pit, and so IDK just kind of has to try and escape towards lane. The problem is the bomb is fully committed. They can't get away from this. They've got to come back towards A, and it's a perfect setup for the remaining Furia players to hold them at bay. That flash could be so well timed. They're not quite far enough forward to have committed, and Vinny tries to get aggressive. That's going to make life a lot more difficult for Able J. They can wait, get into position to really pincer him in towards this pit, and so Able J, recognizing that, has to take the assertive approach and try and find a little bit of space. For that first pick, he's just being toyed with by Maluk, so no real opportunity here, and they'll slip back to more comfortable ground. 20 seconds on the clock, so the move has to be made here from Team 1. They were hoping that he would overextend out of this pit. It's not going to happen, and he finds the first. Needs one more, but IDK is going high. He anticipates, but doesn't quite have the shot. That's a great response out from Team 1 to secure the fourth in what looked to be a pretty dangerous hold from Furia. So Furia coming up short in that round and blanked on the game so far. A little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, that last round, one thing to point out was Arton was in a one-and-done position there towards Haycard. He hits that initial shot, but there's almost always going to be a trade man when they try to push on towards the A site there for Team 1. And he actually didn't end up getting any kills in that situation. So they were initially at a deficit, but they had a nice response with the defense. Ends up being a 2v1. Furia gives up one of the players. It's now 4-0 here. So look at the red bars across the side of Furia. They're getting lit up. Maluk's going to be able to grab a double. Vinny with the nice 1 dig, but it's now 4v3, and one of these guys over here, Art, is lit up on the piece.
Now they're just making sure there's no guns whatsoever available. Maluk's going to upgrade away from his SMG. You'll note the little detail tossing it over the fence to make sure no grubby hands are going to get their hands on his beautiful, clean SMG. He'd rather commit it to the dirt than to the hands of the Furia players. And so this gets tough. Team 1 just going to group up and steamroll through towards site. They know they have the overwhelming force. They've got utility behind them as well. And despite the fact that they may get caught off by this position from Quesarado, maybe they get caught out a little bit from Coffins, they should have the overwhelming force to really bring this round through.
Yeah, CT's pretty much locked out.
They have the flashes are really effective too. Bodies now dropping. They're pushed back by the smokes. Site's being claimed.
So Art will be the last man. He, again, is going to be locked out by an additional smoke. He's on 12 HP. He can only take one bullet and goes ahead, sprays, tries to deny that bomb plant. Not going to happen, and Team 1 is up 5-0, Mike. Coming into this match, I figured, if anything, it'd be the opposite because Furia has been such an impressive team lately, but Team 1's coming out swinging basically for the fences. So they certainly started off really well here. It's going to be another buy round here for Furia, all back on Art. A couple guys sans armor, so you can tell they're a little bit light in terms of money. They're actually, right now, they're definitely fully invested into this one. Nade's going to rain in over the top of Banana Wall, and Art's going to go down as a result.
I mean, what a way to deliver on your utility damage. Inferno is a map that can just be ruled by utility, and they take the advantage, Team 1, and just batter that attempted peek out from Art. That man is not having an easy day so far in this game. This is only the second gun round we're going to have so far, but it's already looking so challenging. Quesarado at least gets the big AWP, and he can fade back. It's a strong weapon to solo hold a site and will allow his teammates to reinforce the other direction, and they turn that into a quick frag. Now, the problem is that may have bottled up the approach from Team 1, so that may have recommitted them towards this B hit. And so Quesarado is really going to have to hit his initial shot around the corner here. They're going to be coming his direction in just a moment. They've got all of the utility in the world to clear his spot. He's bringing defense, though. They're hedging in Vinny and Yuri on the reinforcement push. And he goes through the smoke. What a bold play. It's punished severely. And the boost-up tags will be working out. There's the spray. Turns it into a kill. Slows down the bomb plan as well. But IDK will now transition to get that punched in. And despite the best efforts from Vinny, the bomb will go down. Now a 2-on-2 retake. There are flashes or a single flash available for the CTs to allow for the push in. And that's exactly where they'll put it into effect. Yuri turns that into a kill, and it all comes to IDK. He's got to find both. Finds the first. Can he pivot? He cannot quite do so. So Furia, with one player alive, are finally on the board.
Killer flash that came in there that immediately resulted in a kill. You can see the guy from CT coming in, throwing that flash in towards water, and the Coffin player, I believe it was Yuri, popped out and got that kill. So Furia get their first on the board after 5 rounds. So now 5-1. But Art's on 005 right now. That's definitely not something you see very often. Let's see if he can get back into this match. But Team 1, no issue buying here. They still have a little bit of money left over. Maluk actually drains his account to 0 as I say that, but everybody else has a decent amount to work with at a minimum. So Furia able to get that first one on the board. Let's see if they can run a few in a row here to get back.
So now a little bit more hesitance from Team 1. They don't take that early banana aggression we've been seeing from them so much. One of the problems for Fury is they're very limited on the utility. They've got some to work with, but it's just a little bit hamstrung here and there. And so as these rounds get slower, Team 1 can really bleed out the reserves and put them at a massive disadvantage, or really start to apply the pressure and turn the screws without even taking a single face. So that's what they're doing. Presence towards A being established, and every piece of utility they throw should bait out a response here from Furia. Furia are doing a good job of sitting still. Art still not having a lot of success getting those opening picks. He's battled back and dropped low. They've lost Able J in turn. At least the op still lives to ring a little bit of danger, but it's bringing so much presence from the CTs, and there is no commitment from Team 1 yet.
Yeah, Furia are already down a man. They have a 3-man setup over towards A, and they're looking to cheat over a 4th. Quesarado was on his way, but as I say that, he heads back towards the B site. So at least play for info. So Team 1 looks like they're faking over towards B. As you can see, the bomb's still over towards mid right now, joined by 2 other players. So a little bit of utility going to be spent over towards the B site. And here comes Vinny. Yep, that's exactly what Team 1 wanted to happen. Barton's ready for it. Gets the initial kill. They seem to know where Yuri is. He's going to get mollied out. He takes a bunch of damage off of bit 1, but eventually he does go down. So it's going to be 4v2. Art on 12 HP. And as the clock was ticking down, Team 1 will get the bomb.
They're playing this so well right now. Team 1 are looking really polished. I mean, they're finding all the right moments to apply pressure, right? They're working together as a unit. They're coordinating. They're not panicking if a pick comes through or if they get a little bit of pressure applied towards one direction. They're sort of falling off of the initial plan, then recommitting based on what they want to do. And it's really effective so far. So it's going to be a save out from Furia. They really can't do anything but slink away with what they've got. Art, at the very least, will be able to keep the big green gun alive and a kit as well. So there's something to work with them for the next. But the coffers are going to be emptied here. It's going to be a challenge. Yes, they'll have loss bonus still, considering the circumstances. But this is rough. And the numbers are starting to stack up here for Team 1 in a big way. And the confidence as well. I mean, everybody's hitting their shots on that T1 side.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the way Team 1's playing right now, it's very reminiscent of like the traditional Furia setup where they're just hitting crisp, clean executes, hitting the shots they should be. So Team 1 might be taking some notes from Furia, and it's working out right now. 6-1 up big, and Furia is on 2 guys with pistols. Make it 3. Quesarado on an SMG, so this round might be a bit of a throwaway depending on how Team 1 plays this. You can see 2 guys a little bit aggressive here. Over towards Banana, they're going to flash themselves and try to get an initial pick. TRK completely blind, but he will be able to get to a protected position there before Art can take him down.
Art is just having such a tough run in this, right? He's got the big green gun. He's at least found 1 at this point, but it has certainly been a struggle, and he needs to find more impact. That can be such a game changer. They're trying for the sneaky boost.
What a
Problem is now they're out and a little bit exposed, and Barton's going to turn into a kill elsewhere. This now pulls them back, pulls them off the potential angle. Meanwhile, the bomb hasn't budged an inch. They've still got banana control, and Team One is just toying with FURIA. Look at this over-rotate. One kill, and everybody moves to the site.
Yeah, doesn't look like the standard or typical FURIA team going with those over rotates. I get it, they're kind of in a tough position just based on the firepower that they have. 2 guys on pistols, 1 on an SMG. But yeah, their rotates just seem to be questioned every time they go for it. Kind of back and forth from one side to the other. One guy maybe trying to hedge over to one, but then eventually he goes back. So Team One just has their number right now. Looks like it's going to be an A hit, and there's only one man in towards sight. That's Vinny. All he's got is a dig, so he's got a lot to do here as they pour in towards sight. That's a good way to start it off. He gets the initial kill, and that's pretty much all you can really ask for him. And the bomb will be planted here by TRK. It's not going to be 4v3.
That's tough. And they've still got the op. They've still got 2 sets of armor. That's worth saving. That's money that's worth bringing through into the next. Problem is you're starting to get to this situation where you need rounds on the board. It is going to be, presumably here, the Brazilian scoreline, the classic, which we've been seeing a lot of lately.
Yeah.
They're going to try and get out here. It feels inevitable, man. 7-1s. 7-1s are the meta right now. I don't know what it is, but the new economy changes. 7-1s have just become the meta. It's a very easy scoreline to get to. So it's a challenge for FURIA without a doubt, but at least they keep a little bit up here. They've got the money to invest, to buy up. They should also be able to get a decent amount of utility behind it, at least on Serato, Able J, and Art. And so this is going to probably be their best gun round they've had yet. The only limitation is that SMG on Serato, but with a full belt of utility, that's kind of a worthwhile exchange. And with 3650 left in the bank, they're fine with it.
Yeah, especially being in the hands of Serato. He can turn around very quickly at times. So let's see where he's going to be positioned. So he will be playing B with that SMG still. So no change in that based off the gun that he has. And he's actually going to be the player in the back. Typically, you would think he'd be the guy up front taking that initial damage, and then the other guy comes in and cleans up who has the rifle. But they're going to let Vinny take the lead right now. A little bit of fire exchange here over towards Banana. A third man joins them on the FURIA side. So they're going to focus on the B site for the time being. And Art spots one out, grabs the kill there on towards Maluk. And Art, I think, is going to have to fall back. But no, he's standing his ground.
I like to see this. He's been pushed around by utility a little bit too much. And yeah, you've got to be careful to keep that op alive. But holding the angle, holding them at bay is important. There, Maluk's just had maybe one too many cupcakes in the offseason, and his butt just sticks a little bit around the wall, so he gets punished for it. And that one hurts. It's time to start getting that beach body ready, Maluk. It's almost bikini season here. And so now Art is sticking around. He's a little more confident. They're going to have to battle him out. He's going to make them pay the iron price to get around this corner. Nearly finds it on the tag. They're lucky that bullet splits the difference. But the boost up here from Serato, not even the boost up, might be able to find some damage. It's not much. Art's still alive. He's dropping bodies on sight, and they've killed the one who's moved through towards CT to try and make a bold play. It's all going to be on Bit, who will be able to get the plant, but may not be able to get off of the plant immediately afterwards. They're coming with a Fury from Banana, and he will swing on the first, but instantly be traded, and FURIA, they claim their second. The problem is, even when they survive, these rounds are so expensive. The one advantage here is they find a double off.
Yeah, double out setup. Definitely good here for FURIA. I'm wondering who the second player is that's going to be wielding that. And they actually end up dropping. You can see Vinny just picks up the AK. But you can see Art, I think it was, that pushed through that smoke. We already saw Serato attempt that earlier and just got ran over. But Art shows up big in that situation. Takes down 2. And as a result, it's going to be 7-2. FURIA get their second round. Now, economy a little bit better. Art's on 3,500. Doesn't have to buy up. You can see Vinny 2,600. Couple guys struggling, but it's much better than it has been. On the flip side, Team One, they got a good amount to go around right now, and I believe they're the team that took the pause. It's my assumption, anyway.
It would make sense. They might want to try and find a little bit of a plan to bring through here in this next round. Based on the fact that Maluk hasn't bought up yet, you kind of expect that to be the case. They're just figuring out, whether they want the op or whether they want the momentum of the rifles. I think that's probably the big decision they have to make. And the thing with Furia is they've got a lot of Augs. We know how this team loves Augs. We know how this team loves to hold angles with Augs. And this is really where they start to get powerful when they have those scoped rifles in hand. To counter it, Maluk is actually going to go to the SG. So you kind of love to see it. A gun that is getting more and more popular as time goes on. The Krieg can rain some terror out. Oh, look at this boost. You don't see this every day. In towards Boiler is a boost. And that's a kill from it. Yuri plays it perfectly. They catch one, and there's a man advantage for Furia.
And they don't get greedy after that as well. They get that kill, and they fall all the way back in towards site. I love it. Beautiful play there by Furia to get their early advantage. And Team 1, in response, looks like they're going to send 4 guys over towards B. Art's going to be paired up here with K Serrato. So Art's going to take that initial kill, assuming they push over here. He'll get that initial kill, fall back, and let K Serrato try and trade out another player here. Let's see if Art can hit that first shot. Flash comes in. Art doesn't hit the shot. He goes down, but K Serrato able to grab one. Make it a double, but IDK will trade that out. So 3v2. Vinny desperately trying to get over towards the B site. Ortiz push in. Vinny lays down a little bit of fire there, does some damage, and it looks like he's trying to fight this one. And he's going to take down IDK, who clearly wasn't expecting that push from him, and that's the bomb down. And that is the round. Vinny with a double at the end to finish it off. Beautiful work there. And it's now 7-3.
He's got so little fury, he's going to run through the molly just to get the op and cool his toes in the fountain of victory, Mitch. And that plays out beautifully for Furia. So they're starting to chime through a couple rounds here at the end. And I wonder if this is a pause again from Team 1, just to give themselves a little bit of an opportunity to stretch that economy around. They're definitely going to have a buy here, but they want to maximize their ability to get utility up. So you're going to see Bit toss over a rifle to Barton. That'll give them the best chance to get into this round. TRK could pick up the op if they want, but I think it's going to be rifles throughout. Maluk likely to do the same thing unless they need him to take a little bit of a hit for the utility. Rifle is what it will be. And so now you're seeing the cracks in that economy. If they win this one, they're finally going to force them onto an eco, which is really the position Furia has been wanting to get into. So despite a very slow start to this map, now there's signs of life. Now they've got the utility. Now they've got the Augs to really battle, hold angles, and avoid getting pushed off and battered by Team 1. And so if Team 1 can regain momentum here, all the better. But if not, we can start to see this pendulum swing the other way.
Yeah, this is a big round for Team 1 here. They could be in a lot of trouble. We know how Furia can string rounds in a row. So if they give up this... Oh, there we go. Vinny's going to get the opening kill there with the AUG. IDK clearly not ready. Nice response there by TRK, though. And K Serrato's down to 12 HP already. So Team 1 off to a good start here in the 11th. Art is going to go ahead. Peek. He gets the kill. That was a risky peek as well. That's a pretty traditional pre-fire shot. But Art too quick, and the second man can't catch.
I was going to say, how does he not get punished there? Bit now is going to win out his duel, ducking under the crosshair of Yuri. Yeah, he takes a little bit of damage, but it's a massive frag to find, and it puts Able J in a really awkward spot. K Serrato's coming through to give some support, and the flash will be enough to clear Arch and make sure nobody's here. So now he's got all the info that's either coming toward the lane or the balcony, but he's got to respond. Still a very tough spot. A little bit of support out towards Moto now, and K Serrato is hot on the heels to give his comrade a little bit of aid, but he's going to need a lot. Hesitation for Team 1, almost the fake, and that allows K Serrato to get back into spot. So we'll see if he can turn that into kills. He can indeed. Here's the 1-2 punch, and they find the third blow as well. It's the knockout from the round. Furia keep climbing back into this game.
Yep, Able J holds it down. Nice job on the A site, and I thought for a second Team 1 was going to focus in towards Pit because Able J gave away his position trying to flash K Serrato to check Arch. And it looked like they were focusing for him a second, but eventually they ended up looking over towards K Serrato, and both of those players just cleaned up. So Furia grabbed the fourth, now 7-4, and here comes the aggression that Furia seems to do so often. Now they're starting to feel it a little bit. Art goes down in towards mid and grabs the off kill, and legs another one, and there Yuri trades it out immediately. Perfect play.
This is where it's good to see. They've got so much confidence that they're getting this bold against ecos. There's going to be a player pushing towards the bottom of Banana as well. Vinny can now just hold this. It's sort of the run and gun fallback mentality, and the bodies are just dropping for Team 1. So they're making this clean. They've barely been touched. And that's where you like to see Furia, where they're starting to feel it, where they're confident to go for these angles, to take these fights, where they have the idea that they are the best players in the server and no one can really come off that fate. So it's going to be a beautifully clean round. Yuri in particular claims 4. And now there will be rifles available to Team 1, but it's going to be very limited in terms of utility. There's going to certainly be no AWP up. And they're seeing this lead just melt away bit by bit.
Yeah, it was 7-1. FURIA has run 4 in a row and clearly feeling it based off that aggression.
It's kind of occurred to me that bit by bit takes on a special meaning for Team 1.
Yeah,
every bit.
yeah. Absolutely. I heard that. You know, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not, but it doesn't matter because.
Oh, there's the first tag. Art so aggressive, sticking around. That's a little bit too bold, I would say. Now they can get that off, and Barton, there's no brakes on this train. He's just going to peek right into Boiler and stack on more. Talk about adding a cherry on top. He gets himself an extra frag. Answer from Able J, who needs to find more. And May just with that nade. The dunk is perfect. And he's still alive. All on Barton, the man who got aggressive into Boiler, now needs to find 3. Aggression will not be enough for this. He's got to be flawless.
Yeah, beautiful round so far here by Able J. Already has a triple kill, could potentially get a 4th. There's a minute on the clock for Barton here to work with. He doesn't have control of the bomb, so he's certainly got a lot of work to put in to be able to bring this one back, and I'm not even sure he's convinced he's going to go for this one. You can see he's going in towards Mexi, maybe trying to catch somebody up from Banana on the rotate, but all 3 of them on the CT side are in the A site right now or holding mid. So he goes through Mexi, and he does adjust his position, so he's going to be coming from a different angle that FURIA might be expecting, but there's still a man posted up in Vinny who's ready for this cross. And okay, Barton gets the opening kill and has 25 seconds to work.
Now we're seeing what made them bring Barton in. It made him the newest addition of the roster. But the problem is this time when he swings, it's going to be a double peek right in his face. And this time it's Able J who winds up with the 4K on the round. So 1 round away from tying this up, and it's going to be either a very limited rifle buy, maybe some SMGs, or a pistol armor, more likely. Pistol armor seems to be the case. A single SMG picked up for Barton just to try and find some frags. Maybe a bit of an overinvestment on a couple of these players, but they're comfortable with it. And it's going to be 2 more rounds. But FURIA have run this back to what may be an even scoreline. It may even be a winning half. Oh, that's a nice tag to start it off for Art. Just saw the elbows and turned it into a kill.
Yeah, he didn't see much, but hit a quick click there. Art gets the kill, and he's going to continue to get aggressive. It looked like he was going to peek on the other side of that smoke. I'm not sure if he eventually did. I'm on Able J right now for my POV, but Art definitely going for it right now. 3 guys on the side of the T's going over towards Banana while 1 man holds the rotate. FURIA going to fall back in towards site. Vinny's still posted up on that pre-fire corner, so he's got to be careful. You can see the Deeg's raining out. Bit's going to take him down with a nice Deeg. He goes down to 18 HP, but I'm sure he'll take that trade all day, especially when he can upgrade to this.
Yeah, that was an unnecessary bit of aggression, and they're really punished for it. You can see the idea and what it might have brought. Now the question is, when does Queserado swing from this emo corner? He's tucked in. I don't think they realize he's here. There's the first, and he's got more as well. They've got to dig him out of the spot, and he's aware, and he's just going to be a sentinel of death on the site. Eventually they dig him out, but there's only about half health between 2 players now, and make that just 1. IDK sitting on 35, tucked into the back, no chance to get this bomb planted, and he can see so many bodies starting to come his way. He turns it into 1. There's a frag, and nearly the 2nd as well. What a shot! But Able J is quick enough to prevent that from happening, and now we got it all tied up from 7-1 to 7-7. They have run it back, Mitch.
They have run it back. FURIA coming back with a vengeance, and they could have the lead going into the second half after being down 7-1. So they are rolling now, right now, Mike. And as you can imagine, Team 1 fully invested here. Can't take the money into the second half. And they have a good buy as well. I mean, 4 AKs, an SG, full utility, and armor. So they're in good shape for this. They'd certainly love to have the lead going into the second half. Let's see if they can make that happen. But FURIA has just been looking so good these past few rounds.
Is he looking for a little bit of a gap? There's kind of a gap in that smoke. It's not really quite enough for him to exploit, but he's going for it. Not going to find a kill here. And so that's going to slow everything down just for a moment. Minute 20 still on the clock, and they're trying to build just a bit of space towards site, taking control of the apps and trying to turn that into some frags. But it's a pretty nice setup from FURIA. They get the 1 player as the early warning system at the top of Banana, and everyone else is kind of just holding here towards brackets to make sure that no matter what Team 1 tries, they're not going to find any space to work with.
Yeah, so FURIA has 4 guys over towards the A site, so they seem to be predicting there's going to be a hit here. And AbleJ eventually going to go down, but Yuri was there set up for that trade. They also have Quesarado in the same position, so mid is held down right now. Yuri makes sure of it. He gets a double out of that initial push. Bit seems to want to come in and try and trade that out, but it's a little bit too late as Yuri has escaped in towards site, and adjustments have been made by FURIA. Team 1 seem to be doing that as well as they head over towards the B site.
Quesarado is thinking better of this. He's not sure. Now the utility's coming in. That's going to be the key off. And Vinny, this is bold. That's not often what you see. Usually you see players fall back, and that's exactly why. Fortunately for him, Quesarado finds the timing on the swing through smoke, and he will avenge his fallen comrade. It's all going to be on Bit. The man with an 8K in hand, no utility, though he just picks up a molly, and he's got many targets to find, and Art will make it a mercifully quick round, and a 1/2 for FURIA from 7-1 down to an 8-7 scoreline. That's a heck of a way to come back into a game.
Yeah, that's his best, the best response you can have being down 7-1, running it back to 8-7. That was really, really impressive, and definitely the team we're used to seeing, that's for sure. You rarely see FURIA down 7-1. I can't remember the last time I have, to be honest. But it's probably been over a year. But yeah, pistol round coming up here in the second half. FURIA on a bit of a roll. Team 1 would love to have this one to slow them down a little bit and add one in the W column. So let's see what we get. We get Barton on utility as well as Bit 1 on the flip side. Quesarado and Art will be the utility men. And nothing too crazy to start off this round. TRK jumped across window to try to get a little bit of information. He's going to go ahead, fall back over towards balcony. And Vinny, oh, did he just dink TRK with that shot? I'm pretty sure he did.
That's not a great feeling. Here's going to be a little bit of nade damage out on the banana. It's Bit who's got to stand tall now. He does have support closer towards the site, so he'll slip back without quite being punished. But FURIA have at the very least gained control. What they've also done, though, is they've pulled Maluk back towards the site. And so now there's a pretty strong defense here. He's not quite on the site, but he's in the quick rotate, rather. So they're going to find a fair number of bodies from Team 1 if they do decide to ultimately bully through the smoke and take B.
Yeah, Team 1's dedicated that third player over towards the B site. They might have to get their Nikes on here in a second. FURIA's made an adjustment, seemingly going towards A. 2 guys in towards pit. So this is a pretty strong position, especially when you have USPs. You can see IDK watching the cross there from pit on the other side of broken wall, but he's got to defend balcony as well. But there we go. IDK getting the opening kill. That's huge. Let's see if TRK can come in and help out. And he does. Nice quick 90-degree shift, but there is FURIA in response. 3v2.
The most important kill there is, of course, digging out the pit player. That secures the ability to plant without getting harassed with a backstab. Now, AbleJ is making sure Vinny can stay clean, and he's doing one better than that. He's turning it into a frag. It's all on AbleJ now, who needs to find more and cannot stand up to Maluk, a man who always seems to pop off when the pistols are in hand. So it's going to be another pistol round secured here for Team 1, and a defuse comes through, and they tie it up. They tie it right up, Mitch.
We are tied up, baby. Big, big round for Team 1. That'll build your confidence a little bit. FURIA had the right setup in my mind, and they had the advantage in the initial exchanges, but FURIA was able to end up winning that. Let's see what kind of buy they go. Yeah, Art's going to go straight for the SG. Vinny as well. So these guys are going straight for the throat. They're going to leave Yuri and AbleJ on Deeks, which is an interesting decision here. So, I mean, either way, they deplete their money. So they're certainly fully invested in this. On the flip side, T1's going to go for it. They got 4 SMGs and an AUG. So right now, FURIA has a, I would say maybe a better buy. I don't know. It's kind of borderline just considering there's 2 Deeks on FURIA.
Yeah, this is very interesting. That force buy, it's a philosophy for FURIA. They always force buy if they lose pistol. Always. Hey, there's so much faith in their own. Yeah, I know you're with it. I played enough MM and open games with you. I know you're with it. They're going to, every time we play, just quick aside here, every time we play, it's like, all right, guys, this is a safe round. Mitch, why? Why did you force buy already? Vinny right now is wondering why Barton was hopping and giving himself a nice, easy frag. It's going to be an SMG picked up as well. Though Bit can answer back a little bit, that space fallen, it's going to split the defense in a big way, and they've already got a player towards Arch. Look at this spot for Art. This is such powerful positioning. He's going to presumably find the flank unless they start to check for it. The response from the CTs is to get aggressive with IDK down alt mid, who might find a flank of his own. This is going to get so chaotic. That's the bomb as well on Able J if he can catch it out.
The flank,
this could get messy.
Flanks on both.
They don't pay out. Art, though, he's going to walk through a smoke, should be able to find a flank of his own. He's got to be looking the right direction. He finds one, realizes where the second is, turns it into a frag. But the problem is the bomb has been lost. It is the victim of Team 1 over on Banana, and he's got not really the health for this fight. Oh, what a hop. That's a bold strategy. Elevate. It didn't pay off, but I like that.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt there. He might have been able to grab one off. But it's going to be Team 1 taking the round. That was such a weird round, Mike. One guy in towards CT for the T side, and one coming into the flank from Banana from Team 1. That was as wild a round as I can consider, just based on the positioning of the players. But nonetheless, it's going to be Team 1 now in the lead, 9-8. And you can see FURIA, they're going to force up on Art. So they have that hero SG on him, and everybody else is around 2K. On the flip side, they're going to hold on to 3 of those SMGs. They have an AUG and an AK as well. So it's going to be a fast play on towards B, or at least Art going to try and get that early information, but he's going to get a double instead. Why not? And they would probably just force their hand in towards the B site right
now. They're investing what they have to try and secure this cross, and they're not going to have a smoke for it. Well, actually, they do. Yuri's picked one up, so the smoke's going to go down. That'll secure the potential to get the plant up, and this is, I think this is a save from Team 1. 5 players up, even with Deagles and SMGs. They do not fancy their odds against that. So they're going to go ahead and say, we're going to take a mulligan on this round. We're going to call the save. And FURIA, the relentless force here, just that saved rifle from Art turns into an entire round. What a way to turn that momentum in your favor.
Yeah, that was huge. Art double opening kills on towards the B site. Nothing Team 1 can do about it. The closest man was, I think, over towards Arch when that happened. So you can't really do too much about it once it's already happened. So yeah, it's going to be a round for FURIA, and a round they probably shouldn't have won, but Art did a really good job with those entries. So it's going to be a save coming from Team 1. They'll be able to bring in 2 SMGs and an AK into the next round. But FURIA have tied it up 9-9. I knew this match was going to be good, and they delivered so far.
Spicy one. Real spicy meatball. A save is, or a pause is going to come through rather from Team 1, presumably. I just based on the timing of all the pauses, I think they've been doing most of it in this game, which is kind of funny because FURIA does have a coach, and frequently, you know, teams with coaches in the server will do a little bit more of the pausing action. But you got to get creative with your accounting here if you're Team 1, right? And they're going to contest this round. They are deciding to do so. So 2 FAMASes get bought up. The saved rifle on IDK will also make that a lot easier to deal with. And they've got decent utility as well. They're just kind of hampered on the range duels between the FAMASes and the SMGs. It's going to really limit what kind of angles they can play.
Yeah, you can see Vinny will be able to buy here, no issue. And he'll go with the SG in this situation. So him and Art seem to be favoring those SGs, which I like to see. In case Serrato has the AUG on the T side, he could potentially just completely ruin a round for Team 1. So it looks like a default's going to be coming out from the T side. You can see the bomb in towards spawn. 1 guy probing over towards Banana. 1 already over towards apartments. So it's probably going to be a slow round coming up here. And Nade comes in. Doesn't really do all that much damage. And so 3-man setup that Team 1 had to start out over towards B turns to 2. As you can see, Maluk has rotated off in towards CT for the time being.
He can definitely get back over to at least secure the arch, and the utility is going to cue him off. He's now starting to hedge his bets, and they're actually hedging all of their bets over towards this A hit, which is interesting. The bomb certainly hasn't committed. It's all the way back towards T stairs, but space has been gained by...
Yeah, it seems to be FURIA thinking about going towards the A site, but the bomb's still in towards spawn, so it's either going to be Vinny coming in late, grabbing that bomb if they'd taken control of brackets. But Bit1's going to have a whole bunch of work to do here. He grabs the first one, but immediately going to be traded out. So Art did a good amount of damage there. Yuri grabs another double. It's now 4v3, but the bomb's still in towards spawn. 35 seconds left. Vinny seems to be waiting for that rotate to come in, but Barton's just staying in the back of B site. Why not? And 2 guys have gotten in towards CT. IDK, this would be huge if he gets that kill, and he does. So he's going to be rotating and try to do something about this bomb. He doesn't know it's there, but Vinny's going to get the kill. TRK still hanging out and it's going to be 15 seconds. I don't think they have time to get to the B site. They're going to have to, at a minimum, clear out Bart.
I think they do with the full sprint. Of course, they have to clear out Barton. They've got to find his kill before the bomb even gets towards site. He's just got a full sprint. 3 seconds. He doesn't have it. He needed 1 extra. The time is going to expire, and TRK is going to win the round by default. Gets a nice little celebration frag on the end there. That will mean that Vinny has no money as well. So that's a real ball buster of a round for FURIA. Team 1 just playing the clock, leaving the bomb all the way back towards T stairs. Neutralizes every good thing they did in the round and steals it away from them.
Yeah, if they hadn't been challenged over towards the bottom of Banana, they should have had time so that that player that sacrificed his life ended up winning the round for them. And Team 1 do take the lead. There has been a timeout called. We've seen a good amount of those in this match so far, which I like to see. I feel like a lot of teams pass up on those a little bit too often. But, yeah, Team 1 up 1 round. And looking good. I guess we can take a look at the frag count. You can see IDK leading the way, 16, 5, and 13. Closest one is Bit1 after that. Maluk trailing a little bit. And on the FURIA side, Yuri leading the way on 16 kills.
Bold strategy here from Vinny. He goes 1 and done in the spot. That's a bit of a challenge here. Of course, they're working with a limited arsenal, so every rifle down is an extra wrinkle they don't quite have to work with unless AbleJ is eventually able to retrieve it. Looks like they're going to blinch up for a little bit of bracket control here, but there's heavy presence out from Team 1. So they're going to have to contend with a lot. They haven't really shown a huge willingness to battle onto the A site. It feels like early they've shown presence towards A, and then they've started fading back into those banana hits. They're slipping a player in towards CT to really try and pinch on the B site. And you can see why. Team 1, in much the same way that they were doing in the first half, are really hedging their bets towards the site. Now it's going to be a question of whether they can catch, and that's 2 kills found in the third as well. Art just annihilates the A defense. As soon as I say it, it's Caster's Cursed. They hit A, they take it with power and aplomb, and it's just going to be IDK left in the back lines to try and keep himself alive, try and avoid the flank, try and avoid giving up this rifle.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to last. You can see AbleJ's in position to take him down, and Art into its spawn, and it's going to be a round, and we're tied up 10-10. Team 1 and FURIA, first match of the season, going deep into this match, tied up. So let's see a look at the money on the side of Team 1, and it's not good. They are going to be on pistols and armor on a couple of these players. They invest in some utility, 3 nades, make it 4. Okay, so we're probably going to see a nade stack here at some point.
Double eco situation, presumably, so they're going all in on it. They've got the nades. Never count the hand cannons out for sure, but it's definitely an uphill climb. And there's, of course, plenty of utility on the FURIA side to make it uncomfortable for these Team 1 players. So, a little bit of space given towards the top of Banana. They're not nearly contesting as aggressively as they have been on the Team 1 side. Of course, it's a little trickier to do with just pistols in your hands. But at least they'll maintain bracket control for a moment. As I say that, the smokes come in, the flashes come in, and they're starting to push off of that turtle into the sights entirely. But once again, FURIA, after showing a little bit of presence towards A, they're starting to slink back to B. And the problem is there are 3 bodies here. If you're rounding an angle and there's 3 deagles pointed your direction, I don't care how good you're playing. That's dangerous.
Yeah, Team 1 has the right idea in this situation. It's just unfortunate the firepower that they have. But as you mentioned, Deegs and the Henna Brazilians, you never know how quickly they'll fall on the side of FURIA. Let's see what happens. Here comes the hit. Maluk's going to be flushed out of his position, but the opening kill will come for Team 1. Maluk gets it. IDK trying to peek out on the other side of that smoke is able to take 2. That's big. So now 4v2. Team 1 might be able to make this happen. Maluk is lit up. TRK takes a significant amount of damage off of AbleJ through the smoke. Now 3v1, and it's going to be a Team 1 round.
So I have one big complaint with the way FURIA have been playing Inferno so far, and it really came back to bite them in that one. They're really not investigating very hard towards A. Like, unless they decide to fully commit towards A, their control is like show a little bit of presence towards bracket, drop a little bit of utility, maybe fire a couple shots, and then hit B. And that's clearly Team 1 have learned to just call their bluff, right? And they've been calling it repeatedly, and that round it works out beautifully. The nade timing is perfect, of course. And the problem is Case Serrato's leading the charge with the bomb on his belt, so he gets dumped out. Now, this is a good response round out from FURIA. They've already gained a man advantage. The aggression towards mid is punished early on, and now they can kind of toy with that remaining Team 1 defense. In fact, the red carpet's been rolled out on B. It's been completely abandoned. Recognizing the man disadvantage situation, they've tried to hedge their bets, put all their chips on the table, and all their chips today. But what a way to get it started from Maluk.
Yeah, dirty shot through the wall, which are those walls are pretty paper thin. But nice shot there. He's going to reposition in towards pit. There's a man in towards graveyard. One on the other side of the smoke in towards arch, but perfect flash. But no, Maluk is eventually going to be able to get that kill. Clearly, Yuri didn't spot him out. And there's more action on towards A. Maluk again through the wall, grabs one, almost hits Quesarado, but it's now 2v1. He has control of the bomb and a minute to work with. He's about to run into Bit, so now 1v1. He knows he can go over towards the B site. Quesarado guaranteed a bomb plant. And it's going to be him versus Maluk, who already has a 3K in the round.
This is what you like to see from Quesarado. That's the heads-up play. He makes it look like he's going to push over, then he holds for that first rotator, catches him out, and now he can kind of commit. Sticking around on the bomb angle is a bold decision indeed, and there is a single flash from Maluk to just try and clear the site, give himself a little bit of space, but he has no information through what corner Quesarado might be playing, and at this point, it could be any possible angle. So Maluk gonna peek, Quesarado not gonna miss a bullet, turns it into a round, and it's 11-11. Maybe it's by a tiny, slim margin, but they've also battered the economy of Team 1 once again. It's going to be a double eco situation. And this is just starting to get maddening. I mean, this is back and forth, Mitch.
This is a slugfest right now. I love it. Brazilians coming with it here on the first night of ESEA here in Season 31. So it's going to be Quesarado coming in with that clutch. And look at this push down mid. Team 1 just full send down mid. Art is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Here comes the flash. And yep, he eventually will go down. But his teammates come in and potentially going to clean up. Vinny grabs a double. Quesarado coming in to help out. Now 2v2. And it's going to be Vinny left all alone. And now a 1v1 situation. He seems to have an idea of where this player is, but the MAC-10 does the job on Vinny, who was low on HP, and Team 1 win it this time.
Barton is a MAC-10 technician. He's not actually able to pick up a rifle in that one, so there's still going to be some weirdness, to say the least. But the force buy is going to come out here from FURIA. At least Art has kind of cued them off. So it's a force on the other foot instead. You thought that was finally going to be the round where one team was supposed to get clean, get a little bit of space behind them. But the force and the aggression down mid just is like a sucker punch in the mouth. And FURIA is now reeling. As we start to get down to the wire, folks, this is looking like one that might go the full 30. It might even go beyond it, because neither side seems to be willing to concede any round.
Yes, so we had a timeout again. I think that's our 4th in this match. But it has been canceled. I'm going to get back into it. So my assumption right now is FURIA just going to clean house, and we're going to be tied up 12-12 just based on what I've seen before. You know, it doesn't matter that they have pistols. They do have the Hero AK, as you can see on the screen right now. That's going to be on Vinny in this situation. And they start off slow, although they do get Art pretty into a pretty extended position over towards Banana. He now has a couple guys joining him. So that's a 2-man setup for Team 1 over towards B. Vit's going to do a good amount of damage with that nade. Vinny down to 57 HP, but here comes the push.
Here comes the push indeed. It's being held off well, but Yuri will eventually find the first kill in the chain, and the second as well. So numbers are equalized here. Bomb plant can be secured, and despite the fact that the cavalry is here quickly, there are now 2 rifles to contend with on site. That's a nice nade, though, to send Able J sky high. At least for him, he was able to get the bomb planted before they will do so. Quesarado, though, has secured space out towards Banana, and that's going to be tougher to unseat in the post plant, especially since they have no flank coming from this direction. So all 3 CTs coming from relatively the same spot. We need to attempt the take out of CT and the coffins, and we'll see what space they can find. Flash is good. Yuri is on an island, should be a dead man. Somehow finds one, and unfortunately, Quesarado swinging from Banana can't quite find more. So the round is claimed by Team 1, and they've finally broken the chain.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it's been back and forth trading rounds one after the other, but Team 1, as you mentioned, finally end that and make it 13-11. And beautiful retake there. They had a really good amount of utility that they used there. One that smoked off Banana from CT, and one coming from construction with a molly over the wall. So clearly they know this map really well, and they earn themselves the win on the round. So that's going to send Furia to pistols here. Vinny's going to be on armor and no hero gun here in this situation. So a little bit different than what we've seen so far. And look at that nade from Barton over the top, from the top rope. Art goes.
That's like the artillery strike, right?
Yeah. Death from above.
Death from above, indeed. The air burst, the air pop, the air death. Now Furia, without even that lurker towards Banana, just kind of stuck. They've got some utility to try and burst onto a site, right? They've got a smoke, they've got a bunch of flashes. They're going to start to put that into effect, but what do you do after? They're going to try and waterfall out the balcony, claim a little bit of space, but these SMGs are so well suited to this particular style of round. And even when they close distance with the pistols, they're just going to meet a hail of bullets and be battered back. Able J at least chimes in from the apartment, a little bit of damage done. That's going to be all she wrote for him, and likely for Furia in her town. Quesarado last to fall, body drops onto the cold cobblestones, and Team 1, despite how messy this game has been, are finally looking like they might be trying to salt this away. I say that, but now Furia have guns again.
Yeah, you know, you certainly can't write off Furia, but right now their backs are up against the wall. And as you mentioned at the start of this match, Team 1 was the only one that took a map off of Furia all of last season, including the playoffs. And right now, they have Furia up against the ropes in their first match of the season. So this is certainly not familiar territory here for Furia, starting off a season like this. But I guess, I mean, they have lost to Team 1 here last season, but nonetheless, it's going to be 2 men down already for Furia. Able J and Art have been taken out. So 5v3, and Team 1 looking good.
Team 1 trying to find map point, trying to crush Furia's dream of back-to-back flawless seasons. Right, starting off on a loss, that might just change the complexion of the whole season if you're Furia. Obviously, they're used to being able to battle back. They're a tough and resilient team, but still, that's definitely not how you want to start out. Bit boosted up. It's a great spot. Turns into a frag. Now they've got the flash coming over from CT. Perfectly timed. There's another. That's the bomb dropped as well. And Quesarado is in a hopeless situation. They need a case of God so play. And he's going to be trying to find it. Found the first at the least, and now he goes to clear out the flank, but there's no real reason to threaten him. They've got the bomb in their clutches. They know exactly where he has to move, and he's got to play into their hands one way or another.
Yeah, you can see TRK coming in to lock him in towards Banana as well. He might be able to fight through that player, but nonetheless, they have him trapped for the time being. And Maluk's just going to shoot through the smoke as he hears the bullets coming from Banana. And it's now 15-11. Team 1 might be doing this, Mike. Furia has to run 4 in a row to bring this one back just to get it into overtime. And Team 1 look fantastic. Let's see what Furia can get out of this round in terms of economy and their buy. So you can see Art's going to be on an ump, Quesarado on an AK, Mac 10 on Able J. Otherwise, it's Deegs across the board on Yuri and Vinny. So they have a ways to go, my man.
Molly's down, Nade's down as well. They're clearing some space, chewing up crowns with the top of Banana. And now, look at this presence, look at this aggression onto A, right up the lane, it's Art. He doesn't find anything initially, though, and he's going to fade away. It's an interesting decision. No one else from his team was really in position to press. And once again, we see the bombs dropped all the way back towards spawn. This came back to bite them in a previous round. Let's see if that happens again, Mitch. It's definitely a threat. I mean, they're going to have to go so far back just to get a bomb, just to get a plant. Art, though, is in the back lines. He's going to get a kill for free on towards an already wounded Bit. That should be the B-bomb site falling. Question is just, do they find the timing this time to actually get the C4 towards the site before the flank comes in from Team 1?
So at least they recognize it early enough that they have to go get that bomb. It might have just been a situation where, hey, we want to have it in towards spawn, but I think that might have been a little bit of a mental mistake. But nonetheless, early advantage here for Furia, and they're going to start doing work. Yuri's able to grab one, working on the second. Maluk, oh, nice recognition from the player coming from behind. IDK goes down. Huge play by Yuri. Maluk does respond, though, but it's 4v2.
That's the bomb. That's the bomb. Once again, the problem is he's last alive, and this time there's enough bodies still up from Furia that they should be able to carve him away no matter what happens. Recognizing that, he's going to go on a little bit of a secret agent mission here, hop down into the sewers and just try and escape. Try and stay alive, maybe do a bit more damage. The plant will come through. Still, that clock was getting a little low. I was getting a little nervous there, Mitch.
Yeah,
but Yeah, that happened twice in a game. Oof. But now, finally, after map point is secured, FURIA have some signs of life. It's going to be a 15-12. They need 3 more to bring us to overtime.
Yeah, huge round there, though, from FURIA. And that play with the Deegan towards apartment was just beautiful. The recognition to catch the guy coming in from behind. It was just beautiful. Great job. So Maluka is going to try to hold on to this gun. He's on 20% health. Art seems to have the right idea, but there's a wall in between him and the player. So he's still got a little distance to go here. And I'm not sure Yuri even wants to go for this. So they hunt a little bit, but Maluka will live through the round with that armor and AK in the situation. So 15-12, FURIA not out of it just yet, but 3 more map points for Team 1 to work with. And they have plenty of money to buy in this situation. And we might... All right, here comes a timeout.
I'm curious about who this timeout is from. I actually suspect it's probably from FURIA. Calm down, come up with a strat, make sure they know exactly what they're doing going into the round. There is no margin for error here, right? The buy wasn't that complicated for Team 1. Maybe they wanted to figure some stuff out, but I suspect this is Gary getting in his players' ears and just trying to say, you know what? We're going to relax. We're going to calm down. Here's what we're calling. Here's what we're running. You know exactly what to do. You know you've done this before. Let's just rock it through. Let's make this comeback happen. Let's just keep chewing away 1 round at a time.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a championship team or just kind of like a winning team, is that they're able to stay calm under pressure. You know, you're down 4 rounds. You have to win 4 in a row and able to bring it back. And if there's one team that I think can do it, it's going to be FURIA. But the timeout has been canceled.
Oh, no.
But it looks like we are lagging a little bit, Mike.
Oh,
you have the same on you.
Oh, no. No, not at this time.
Don't do this to us. Come on,
not
man.
now.
The Brazilian